Hello, welcome to Sword Talk, episode 13, I think. We have a fun one today. We're going to talk about, if I can figure out my banner here. We're going to be talking about different movies and music and stuff that keeps us motivated and things that are exciting coming up in the future. If you're new to Sword Talk or if you're new to the channel, we are here at Sterling Armory. We're just a bunch of nerds who like to drink a lot of drink and make blades. And here at Sword Talk, we talk about all things sword related, from martial arts to making pieces to movies and everything sword related. Before we go any further, let's bring on our team. So today we have. I just noticed your name, by the way. And let me
yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. While you're doing that, let me figure out my issue here. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Warbear the Beardless. And that's my old alter ego, Warbear the Bearded. Genius.
There it is. That's the right one.
Perfect. We're making new shirts. I'm going to make a new shirt that's just that.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's perfect.
Keep it.
I like that one a lot.
Yep.
I'm Warbear, Josh Warbear. You can find me at darkarcherdesign.com or on Instagram at warbear_armory or on Facebook at Joshua Von Warbear.
So I'm Colton from Copperthorn Customs. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things, and then also on the Sterling Armory page as well. So
yep. And then all those links will be in the description below. And I'm Chris, and you can find me on the Sterling Armory page, and then on Sterling Armory Instagram now. And so what we're trying to do at some point is we're going to try to get the Instagrams linked a little better together, because right now, like I share like the Copperthorn stuff and then the Warbear stuff on my story, but there's got to be a way to better connect that. So,
yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is.
We'll figure that out.
We're just not that smart.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. So, if anyone wants to help us out with social media and eventually a website, we do have a domain. We just don't have a website. That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be awesome if we had someone that could do just social media and webmastering? Just anyone.
Just anyone.
You know,
oh my gosh,
anyone.
I've been doing a lot of my own crap, and that's why it has been sparse and not as good, shall we say?
Sure. I have noticed a severe decline in editing.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Sierra's awesome, but yeah, she just started her new job, so she's been very busy.
So did you do the video on Instagram for your latest blade? Because that looked good.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, depending. She did one. No, I don't remember. She did one recently as well, and if it looks good, it's probably hers. So.
Okay.
You're talking about the Witcher sword video on Instagram?
Yeah.
I thought that looked rad. That was a pretty sweet video.
Okay.
The sweet pan across the blade.
Yeah. I did that. I do a lot of the camera work. She does all the editing and the music.
Oh,
and the cuts. Like she actually makes it look good. I do a lot of the camera work.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, today's topic. Oh shoot! Almost forgot. Before we go into the topic, drinks. What are we drinking today? I'll go ahead and start. So I'm back from the UK, but sadly I couldn't bring a lot of my drinks, so I'm waiting for it to get shipped to me. So in the meantime, I got my usual mead from Denmark. I have no idea how to pronounce that. If anyone knows how to pronounce that weird name,
nope.
I'm not even going to try it.
Nope.
That's an international incident waiting to happen.
All I know is it's a honey wine with it's a Nordic caraway honey wine. That's really what it is. It's really good.
All right.
So, Josh, what
He doesn't have anything.
I am drinking water.
Yep, knew it.
Yeah, I just got done with the gym, and I ate a shit ton of Panda Express, and I'm feeling that now.
I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, it glazed over. Just,
Oh,
yeah, I feel packed. I feel
So-
pretty bad about it. I'm
Dang.
drunk in a different way.
You're making me look good because this time I am actually drinking Mike's. So
Ooh,
yeah, you're making
Yeah,
me look
speaking
good,
of-
man.
drinks. Colton and I had a little bit of that. Whatchamacallit. What was that mead? It was the same maker, the Danks mead.
yeah.
We had some the other day, and it had a bit more bite than we were expecting.
Yeah, 20%.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Did you
Speaking
have
of,
white bottle or-
Evermore, this past weekend was the last weekend of Mythos at Evermore. And this next weekend is Oktoberfest Evermore. So everyone in the park is going to be drinking. So I probably will too.
Yeah.
And Colton, if you're there, you should as well.
Yeah, discount
Sounds
prices.
good.
Prices. Like I'm going to pay for anything.
Are you gonna have your sword booth open?
I'm gonna have my sword booth and leather booth.
Yep.
I'm gonna have like a Viking drinking helmet with bottles of mead in it and
Yeah,
straws.
awesome.
You have to do like a Viking mead gondola, or not gondola, but bandolier.
Bandolier
All
with
right.
different meads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yeah,
I'm ready
awesome.
for it.
I wish I could be there. Hopefully sometime soon. So
Yeah,
our
yeah,
topic of today is movies and shows coming. There's a lot of sword-related shows coming out that we're all excited about, and then also, what keeps us excited when we're making, or if we're not in a place where we're in a good spot to make, like what helps kick us in gear. I guess first thing is let's talk about all these shows coming out. So we have. I just forgot.
So many.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, House of the
Dragon.
Dragons coming out. The new Amazon Lord of the Rings series
Lord of the
is coming
Rings.
out.
When is Witcher season 3 coming out? Is that November or December?
November, December, something like that.
No, I mean it's.
Um,
I know I'm missing some here. So what am I missing?
Yeah. Medieval fantasy, like everyone's go-to right now, or I
Which is
say
great.
right now, has been since Game of Thrones made the whole venue popular again.
That's true.
So
And even if there's not a lot coming out, I still watch Game of Thrones on repeat because same thing with Lord of the Rings. I'll watch the extended editions, obviously, of Lord of the Rings on repeat because I've already seen it 1,000 times. I know I'm not missing anything, and it won't suck me into watching it. That being said, all these new ones coming out either have me equal parts excited, equal parts worried.
yeah,
No.
yeah, I'm a little. So I was really excited when I heard about they were doing the prequel version of Lord of the Rings.
Same.
But then when I saw the trailer, I was like, I
Yeah.
really hope it's good. The sword designs look like they could be cool, but some of them look like overly done, like they are almost like an anime style sword.
You're right. They're very, very overly overdone on it, where they're like,
Yeah,
we
so
have
I'm
to,
really-
and that's what we've said before. Peter Lyon and what's his name's designs that did Boromir's sword.
Mhm.
They
I
look
can't
historical fantasy, where these look like they were
Fantasy.
drawn by a manga artist who's like everything has to be stupid detailed. Nothing is simplistic about them whatsoever, and it's like not too excited about
Well,
it.
and they're 6 feet tall. So
Right?
I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen a normal sized blade. Well, no, I have. I've seen like 1 or 2 normal sized blades, but the rest of them are huge, and they're in the back scabbards. And
Well,
The monsters look great. All the orcs and the trolls and all the creatures. Oh,
Yeah,
those look
yeah.
so awesome.
so
Well, and-
hopefully it's good.
yeah, I mean, like, kind of on that same note here, and I'm going to revert back to The Hobbit because I do not care for The Hobbit.
I mean,
And kind of for similar for the movies.
Right, the 3 of them.
The
Right?
Hobbit trilogy. Yeah, because Lord of the Rings came out. Absolutely awesome. Favorite trilogy of all time. Like Warbear said, I watch them on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
Extended
Gotta.
edition. It's just awesome. Hobbit came out and it just feels way more fantasy, shall we say? And it's like it's stupid because it's a totally fantasy show,
Sure.
but it like crosses the realm of believable for me. I mean, and their
Right.
weapons are bigger, they're way more crazy, and so it seems like this show is kind of following that trend that The Hobbit did as well. So I'm excited to try it, but I'm
Yeah,
also,
same.
I'm also nervous So
Yeah, so
we shall see.
I have Fellowship of the Ring on in repeat because I'm currently doing a Strider's sword for a custom.
Oh
order.
yeah,
Nice.
totally.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. I thought the United Cutlery version was quite accurate to the original prop, and then I saw the original prop at the Royal Armories 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and it's not accurate. I was surprised. I was like, oh wait, this is actually very different. So the guard on the original is a bit chunkier, and a different shape than I thought. So it's actually a different shape than the United Cutlery one. I thought I had it there, but I don't. And you can't tell unless you really look at it by eye, but I definitely want to get it right. So yeah, I'm excited to, I had that on. I actually, of the original 3, I like Fellowship the best. I know most people like Return of the King the best, but
yeah. I'm all about that Return of the King.
Original, like it.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. No, I mean,
they're all great movies. So... It's like the meme where it's like the drawing of the horse, and some series are like it starts off great and starts looking shittier, whereas the original trilogy for Lord of the Rings is just all a really good painting of a horse.
Exactly.
Same thing. You're right in calling the first one, great because it totally is.
Hi, Tari. I think for me,
and then. Fellowship's awesome. Two Towers is really good. Return of the King, it's almost like Star Wars, where if you kind of have to pick your flavor of cereal you're going to eat, Whereas, New Hope is the very classic start of the journey. Empire Strikes Back is like kind of the pick of drama, and then Return of the Jedi is just rad action scenes and Muppets everywhere. You know what I mean? So
true.
Okay. So I think for me it's. I'll say the Legolas factor. So like, I don't know why it bugged me, but in Fellowship of the Ring, Legolas is pretty serious. And then for the other two movies, he kind of goes comical, and I liked him better serious. So
I like to think that's because Gimli was kind of rubbing off on him the entire series, because he only gets comical, I think, because Gimli is giving him shit the entire time.
Well, he's not comical with anybody else but Gimli and Aragorn, right? So it's like when he enters that fellowship, he didn't care for anybody there, right? And so he kind of actually became friendly with them. So there's kind of I don't know, there's an arc. I see what you're saying, but yeah.
Awesome. So I hope whenever the new shows come out like this, we usually get inspired to make some pretty new designs and some fun blades. So I'm hoping some of these new shows will give some good designs. I did see some of the stuff from the Game of Thrones series, and some of them looked pretty darn cool. But it's hard to tell in the trailers because it's such a quick view of it. And I saw a lot of people were complaining about the armor for what's his name, Matt Smith. I saw people complaining about it. I thought it looked great. I was like, that looks freaking awesome. It is a bit much, but it kind of makes sense for the character, I think. So we'll see.
I didn't actually notice that, so I'll have to.
It's crazy dragon armor, but it is. If you were to take
sense.
The dragon,
it's indicative of your class, right? Like Ned Stark was a bunch of knights living up in the winter cold, goofing off. They would have very simplified, awesome armor, which they're also my favorite armor in the series. Whereas like Jaime Lannister would have overdone armor because it's indicative of his class status.
And so if you take away all the dragon details of it, it looks almost like a Gothic German armor, which I thought was cool. It's very fluid and everywhere, and I thought it was pretty cool. But we'll see how it looks on screen when it's done. That's the other thing too, is when you're watching these teasers and trailers, the effects aren't done yet. So usually when it comes to the actual screen, it'll look a little different. What's your favorite Lord of the Rings style armor, by the way?
Boromir, when he's not in his full armor. Come on.
Okay.
You knew that.
I
love just his chainmail with the full length leather tunic, and
I love the Rohan armor.
Yeah, the Rohirrim armor, Carl Urban.
It's awesome.
Huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I still want to make my
Eomer.
own.
I
And you can, and a lot of my designs, as far as armor goes, you can tell because I'll have like a Vikingish helm with a big horsetail finial in the back and everything like that.
I'm actually gonna say the Urukai's armor is super cool. I would
a loincloth and some
when they're in their full plate, marching on Helm's Deep, when they're full train and plate,
and the tusks coming out of the bottom.
Their big like cross plume plates out the top. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
No,
and the part in Helm's Deep where like 10,000 orcs show up at their doorstep.
Oh my God.
I just would have shit myself. I'd be like, oh no. Like, oh no.
The way those mouthpieces were coming around with like the spikes kind of coming down. Like, oh, they were gnarly. Right. That was cool.
And they have the big fantail on the top.
Exactly.
And, the visor, the crisp visors, and then the tusks coming up the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So you can only see their mouth roaring at you.
Yeah.
There we go. That's my pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I really liked the Urukai's sword. I love their little just a big ugly flat machete with a hook on the end of it. I thought that was the coolest looking thing I've ever seen.
And then the berserker ones are like even gnarlier on top of that. So it's like the big double bladed double spikes.
These are Urukai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if so I don't think the new show is going to have any orcs and stuff in it, right? It's totally different.
No, like you've seen orcs in the new show so far, but I think there's been an argument over like you can tell they look almost like a bit more elvish, like they're still wearing elvish type armor.
Okay.
So, and wasn't that part of the lore?
Yeah,
like orcs were elves once.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they look crazy, ravenous, and freakishly scary. This would have been better if we could have brought up some examples and posted them on the show to just be like, "Boom, here it is. That looks awesome, doesn't it, guys?"
Yeah.
You know? Oh, it's
this
all
is
right.
Kind of a last minute sword talk. You know?
yeah, off the cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Witcher 3, season 3, I'm really excited for it. I'm a little nervous because I'm a huge fan of the books, and season 2 kind of went away from the books a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping there's a lot of really cool stuff in the book that they should be doing next, or that they are doing next. I just hope they keep all that cool stuff in, because I think the next season would be Tower of Swallows, right? Or not? Yeah, is that right? Tower of Swallows. I can't remember.
I've only read the first one, so
but it's
past my range here.
It's one of the coolest books and one of the, I think, some of the best scenes, especially with Geralt and Yen. So I hope that makes it on the screen. So we'll see.
Do we know if Wheel of Time is getting a second season, or do they kind of watch that? Are they? I wonder if that has anything to do with us being shy about Lord of the Rings. Like Wheel of Time came out and it was like everybody was like, "Oh, I can't wait," and then it came out, we're like, "Ugh, okay, that's weird," you know. So it was like we've now seen that you can throw infinite amount of money behind something and it can still turn out not as great as we'd hoped.
That's true.
Right? I mean, that could
hopefully
be.
Lord of the Rings doesn't have that. At very least, I'm appreciative it exists and I get inspiration from it regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll still pick something about it I like.
I've got this like totally other weird niche topic that I'm going to jump into here. This makes me very excited for Legos because they'll probably do a line. They'll probably do a line of Lego sets and I'll get awesome armor pieces and minifigs out of it. It's going to be sweet. Even if the show's terrible, I'm going to get awesome minifigs from it. So that's what I'm excited about.
Totally.
So I'm really curious. So I'm hoping, it's probably too big of a hope, but in Witcher Season 2, they kind of hinted at some of the other swords that right from the game almost.
Yeah, they did.
And it would be cool to see him switch up, to a different type sword at some point. I don't know if he will, but it would be cool.
Yeah.
Or just to see more.
There's a movie coming out called Medieval, and I've seen like a half trailer for it. And I'm excited for that. I love the independent, gritty, gross stuff, like the new Vikings Valhalla thing that came out. I liked a lot with Peter Skarsgård. I thought that was pretty rad.
I saw that Medieval trailer too. I actually saw it on a Facebook ad, and I was like, "Wow, what is this? This looks pretty cool." But there's it's very much a teaser. Like I have no idea what it's about. So.
Yeah, same. And that's akin to like other stuff that's come out, like Season of the Witch. or the slew of like little Roman medieval movies they came out with forever ago. Black Death with Sean Bean, where it's like the medieval knights going to villages that are taken by the plague. All those cool stuff. And Seventh Son, like weird little fantasy medieval niches like that they were like, here's can't wait for this, and then it doesn't get picked up for a while, and then it's pushed out, and people kind of forgot about it. And we're like, cool, that's out. Guess I'll watch it.
Yeah. I just looked up, by the way. So yeah, Wheel of Time season 2 is casting. So I'm assuming that means it's on, right? So they're already casting a couple new parts. So hopefully that means it's coming out.
I think if it were a much bigger success, it would be much further along in production.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well.
So
it wasn't my jam to begin with. I know that's Thomas's jam, hardcore.
Yeah.
All the fans, I've heard nothing but great stuff about it. I'd never read the books.
I haven't yet either, but I kind of want to. But I know, so I went to actually downloaded the audiobooks, and the first audiobook for the first book is 24 hours long. So I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
So that's why I haven't started on that yet, because it's quite long. And that's just one book of what, 14 or something like that? So
I have no idea.
So yeah, Willow. Totally forgot about Willow.
Oh yeah,
Willow's coming out. I'm excited for that.
That's probably the one I'm most excited for.
God, what was the other one? It was a Witcher prequel with Michelle Yeoh, right?
Oh yeah.
That TV show that was coming out. Yeah, Blood Origins.
I have no idea when that's coming out.
Go.
It looks good too. There's a lot of really cool stuff to be excited for.
So then that one already showed some really cool weapons in that Blood Origins trailer.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
I mean, if we're talking inspiration here, Witcher is totally my jam right now. Like I'm just all about it. It's like I want to make everything that's in Witcher. I love it all, but like my own take on it. So I'm loving everything, all the weapons in that. Between video game and movies, I'm just like they're nailing it for me.
They kind of do. They do a good job, like Lord of the Rings did, but they're not like Lord of the Rings. They're quite different. But it's still the same type of thing where it's historically inspired, but very fantasy.
Yeah, it looks functional. Looks like it could have been in place somewhere. But
and speaking of video games, I've seen some teasers dropped or a lot more chatter about Elder Scrolls 6, the new Skyrim. So I'm really excited if that comes out. It might not come out for another 20 years, so who knows?
True.
But I'm still excited. Right? I'm still excited. Yeah. Witcher's going to drop soon. Witcher's got to drop soon. It's like their hottest property in the world right now.
I don't think they've even started yet. Have they?
It's got to be some kind of conceptual phase at least.
What was that? So isn't there another? Was it the game or is it another show where they dropped that new Witcher medallion? It was like a
the cat.
Yeah, was that a game?
School of the Ocelot.
I don't know if it was a game or not. I think it was a game.
Was it a game? Okay.
I just remember seeing like on Facebook the picture.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't think they put much context behind it. I think I went and looked and it was a game, but I'm not positive.
Okay. Right.
I wonder if that's Witcher 4 or that's another maybe like card game or something.
One of the crazy things, like back in, I would say 15, 20 years ago, you were safe in assumption. Whereas these days, crafters, production artists, any artist period have gotten so shiny and polished and good at what they do. It's hard to tell what's real coming out and what's just kind of like fan junk just being thrown around. It all just looks so friggin' good. You get excited and you're like, oh, this is like, a 10-year-old made this on his iPhone. Like it looks convincingly rad. I got excited for a second.
So we need to find one of those 10-year-olds to help us with our web stuff, right?
Yeah, man. Like, come on, kid. You work for PB&J's, right? And he's like, fuck you, Bitcoin. Give me some Bitcoin now. Yeah.
Awesome. Of all these movies, I'm really surprised. That's the other movie coming out is the Dungeons and Dragons movie. What do you guys think of that?
I still don't know.
It looks funny.
I got bitten so hard by the first Dungeons and Dragons movie where I was like, oh, no. Why? there's like these boardrooms full of executives that have no idea what D&D is, what medieval anything is. They just like, all right, the kids really want this. Let's give it to them. We're gonna throw this guy in here, and he's gonna do that. It's gonna be great. We're gonna change this, and they get excited about it and do a lot of coke about it. And then boom, they throw it out, and they're like, why don't they like it? And it's like, are you serious? What? Why?
Yeah.
Why did you give us this?
I kind of have.
I digress.
So the fact that Chris Pine signed on gives me a little bit of hope, because he's kind of picky about what he does. So
Yeah, we've seen Wonder Woman 1984.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, good.
But, so
It's terrible.
I specifically didn't watch it because I heard it was bad. But he's usually pretty picky about what he does.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if he would have signed on for it if he thought it was going to be really bad. But
Right.
but yeah, I hope it's good. It looks like it looks fun.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weapons and stuff looked kind of cool from the glimpse I remember. I could be remembering wrong, but yeah. So aside from movies and stuff coming out, one of the other things we were talking about is what gets us excited when we're making blades, and what if we're not motivated, like what really kicks our motivation.
I'm super curious as to how many of our answers are going to be exactly the same.
I think you know mine, right?
I think we all. That's what I'm saying. I think all of ours are pretty much the same. Like, I listen to a lot of Witcher soundtrack, a lot of Conan the Barbarian, a lot of Wardruna, a lot of The Who. Sometimes I'll get fancy with some Perfect Circle and Tool in there, but mostly it's just thematic, crazy folk stuff.
What about shows? Do you put on shows and stuff while you're working?
If I do, it's like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. Well, I say Lord of the Rings as a show. It's Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. I usually do that when I have to come upstairs and I sit at my table right here and do leather work, or I sit at my couch and wrap like sword grips and glue the grips up so I can just keep myself preoccupied. When I'm in the shop grinding, there's no, I don't put any. No, I don't. That's a good waste of a TV that just gets covered in metal dust and shorts out right away.
Yeah, that's why you find one. So the big TV I have in our shop.
Yeah.
Here
do you remember the big 19-inch one that we just had on top of a bookshelf? In the old shop? We were watching Conan the Barbarian and Monty Python on a 19-inch tube.
Yeah. The one
So
I have here
bad.
now, though, is a 50-inch, and I got it for $50 on Craigslist. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you find a cheap TV online, it's a great shop TV.
Totally.
And, but it's lasted for what? How long have I been here? 5 years in this location? So
You got any dust protectors on it, or
no? It's
that's
$50.
a
I think,
subscription.
So, it's still going, and I have a Blu-ray player attached to it. So because it's an old TV, it's not a smart TV.
Right.
But yeah, none of that's, even though it's covered in metal dust, it's still going. Watch now. Tomorrow I'll go outside and it won't work.
Yeah, probably.
Is it
Yeah,
what kind of TV, what kind of TV is it? Vizio or Samsung?
It's a Panasonic.
You heard it, Panasonic. We're loving your products. They're doing good for us. We're gonna need you to give us a few TVs to put in the
They don't
shop.
even-
You can
they
just
don't
send
make
that. I'll
TVs
give you my
anymore,
address
do
in the
they?
comments.
I don't think they make TVs anymore.
Shit. Vizio, what's up? Vizio, we love your products. You could just send us a couple TVs, man. We know you're good for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I throw on when I'm in the shop. I usually throw on either Witcher music from the game or the movies or the TV soundtrack. Or I
They're
swap them
reliably
back and
good.
forth.
The soundtracks are so damn good.
Or I throw on Highlander as the movie, or Conan as the
Yep.
movie,
Mhm.
which you know. So
Yeah.
I had Red Sonja on the other day,
Nice.
just because I just randomly thought of it.
Which is basically Conan 3.
Kind of.
Why did he have such bright red pants? He looked like a bright red mariachi barbarian.
Right? Yeah.
Get the deal with the I get the deal with the costumes. It was the 80s or whatever, so that makes sense.
And so that's what I throw on. Colton, what about you?
So I never listened to Witcher soundtracks until I started working over at Warbears a couple times. Like, okay, I guess I got to do that at work. It's good.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. I've been doing that a lot more recently. I I'm almost embarrassed here. I basically always just turn on Eminem
Okay.
and just go to town. He is my go-to,
Awesome.
and we're gonna get
Dude.
canceled because he got canceled or whatever. But he's like my favorite. I don't. They tried to cancel him. Cancel culture.
You're talking about Marshall Mathers, the real Slim Shady?
100%.
Hey man, his gems gets you pumped. I get it.
He does, and that's exactly what. Yeah.
I don't pay attention anymore. When did he get canceled?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody got canceled.
Yeah, I just hope if I ever get canceled for whatever stupid reason, I'm lucky enough to also have $1.5 million or $20 million set aside. To be like, oh, guys, it was a long time ago. Guess I'll go spend my money. Like,
no, well, it's hilarious because
anyway.
We could get off on a whole tangent there. But
sure.
Yeah, no, a lot of '90s hip hop. Eminem is kind of top of the list for me. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
I had some when we were in when I was in Scotland. When we were driving around, we actually had some Braveheart music playing because we watched.
Nice.
Hannah and I watched Braveheart, and before we went to Stirling Castle, actually. So on our way to Stirling Castle and back, we were playing some Braveheart music. So since I've been back, I have been listening to some of that in the shop as well. It's pretty cool.
Another good soundtrack to listen to, if you can find it or download it, is the For Honor soundtrack. It's all medieval in different themes. It's Japanese, Viking, and knights, and it's all thematic. I also want to go back before I get canceled for being canceled for something stupid. Before I get canceled for that, and say canceling people for perfectly good reasons is completely acceptable, and that's awesome. They should be canceled because they're bastards. I just don't want to get canceled for, like, remember that time you said keep the peen clean? We finally found out we were talking about penises, and we hate you now. And come on, man.
I'm not. I'm talking about peens.
What are you talking about?
So that's what I meant. I felt I should have clarified that before.
No, it's fine. So anyone listening to Queen? Highland?
Yeah. I do listen occasionally to Queen. Here's a weird one. Aqua. I listen to Aqua, the Aquarium soundtrack. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Plastic, like that one. I listen to that a lot, and I jam. The Moulin Rouge soundtrack. I listen to the Moulin Rouge soundtrack quite a bit. The original 90s Mortal Kombat soundtrack I'll listen to, and that's got some hard jams on it that I love.
Awesome.
I got a huge playlist that just keeps going through.
I used to listen to the Halo soundtrack quite often. That one kind of keeps you going as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of Linkin Park, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Throwing any Nickelback in there?
Not much.
No.
I got nothing against them. But
no, same.
I don't listen to a ton of them. Yeah.
They got a bad rap.
Yes, they did. If they come on, I don't skip them, but I don't really search them out. So
yeah, there's a few bands that I listen to that I'm like, I would never in a million years admit that I listen to these guys, like to anyone, or come out in public. Like, that's what'll get me canceled. I'll come out and be like, I think ICP got a bad rap, and then I'll just get booed and hit with like radishes and like, why does the crowd have fruits and vegetables that are all rotten? How did this happen? I should never have said that, but yeah, Aqua probably should have been one of those that I'm like, I don't want to admit to that, but they're just they're so fucking poppy and positive. It keeps me moving. It just keeps my blood going a little bit.
So before we started, you were talking about, I think I overheard it because I was out. So you were a little unmotivated, and you were talking about something that got you going again.
No, I wasn't unmotivated. Well, no, wait. You were on Warbear was
today I just wasn't feeling it. Today I was just like, man, I'm sad and I'm bored. I think some of that has to do with just being the only person in the shop and just being like,
oh yeah, I hear you.
I get lonely. But I also wasn't listening to music. That was today. That was on me. Sometimes you get so excited grinding, you don't hear the music behind you. You're not wearing headphones, and then the music stops, and then you just don't turn it on back again because you're busy making grips or doing something else. So I was like, I'm going to go get food. So going to get food motivates me a little bit. I went and got some food and took like a little 30-minute nap. And then I felt pretty good after that. And it's Colton and I were talking about this the other day. It's also like a sleep schedule and motivation time frame. Whereas I used to wake up at like 7:30, 8 a.m. and be ready by 9 to get to work. And then at 1 o'clock, I would take a lunch and then I would come back and then work till like 6 or 7. Well, now being unemployed, I don't go to bed till like 3:30, 4 a.m. I stay up watching really shitty 80s horror movies. The worst I can find, I watch them. I go, yeah, that sounds good. And I'll stay up and I'll go to sleep. And then I'll wake up at like 11 or noon, most 10 to 11 most days. And then by noon, I'll be down in the shop. And it's hard to get going at that point because I'm still just kind of foggy. And then by like 3 or 4, I'm like, oh, in the zone. Let's go. Let's do this. But then it's time to go to the gym at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then I get back from the gym and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Let's try and find something to do up here. And then I'll cut out leather patterns or something like that.
Yeah. How's it? Is it still really warm out there?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. We're like consistently in the 90s pretty much every day.
That makes it hard.
It's been kind of rainy lately.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Some pretty good storms.
Coming back from, when you get back from, I think, from any big trip, like I was home and I was like, oh, I wish I was still, over in the UK. So I was a little sad, but when I got in the shop, that's why I threw on the Braveheart, because it just reminded me of back there.
Sure.
But then I got excited. So what motivated me to get going is recording some videos, these here, but also some of the Oak Shop topology ones. I just recorded some.
Yeah.
And that got me excited because I'm popping the books open and doing some research, and that in turn gets me excited to go make what I'm looking at. So
totally.
Yeah. And then
you're the same thing with switching toolboxes. Like I'll go draw for a minute, or I'll do some leather work. That way I can refresh my brain on sword work, then go do that. But there's so many sword things. After my grinder switch went out the other day, I was like, crap. So I fell behind on everything I was making. Now I'm like 40% done with like 50 things now in the garage. And I'm like, crap. Now I feel buried. That's why I don't like doing commissions. I just feel buried by the work now. And I'm like, there's no end in sight right quick. I miss it when it was just me making stuff for me, which is why I turned down a lot of the commissions. And we'll talk. Yeah. We've talked about that quite a bit as well.
Right. Yeah. We're very picky if we take any. We're very picky about them.
Yeah.
So what were we going to say, Colton? Sorry.
Something that motivates me, not movie and music related, is just actually handling a sword. One that's already made. Like literally just go grab that one off the wall, go like something else in the shop, literally go outside, move it around, try to cut something. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm totally energized to make something again. Because I'm like, this is awesome. I can keep going. So it's like, I went out and did some water bottle cutting today. Was not great. Yeah. I got through them.
Nice.
That is cool.
So
honestly, that's a lot bigger than I was expecting from that photo.
Yeah, it's
How big is that?
It's a 33-inch. So this is that Cold Steel new messer. I messaged the guys on our group chat. What was it? Last week when I got home. So I was a little sad from being home, and I had a little bit of drink. And then I happened to be on Colton.
You're such a fucking nerd. You're just like, got a little drunk. Time to order a sword. Where's my phone?
Yeah. So,
which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So I saw this on Cult of Athena. It's one of the Cold Steel new blades. I was like, what the hell? Why not? I haven't had a Cold Steel sword in forever since I've been making my own. And I thought this one looked good. And for the price, it's not terrible. It looks great, but all the details when you get up close, like it really hurts your hand. Like it's, I don't want to, for the price, there's no way you can beat this. But great piece, for that. But I'm gonna, like the edge is really. I'm not sure if they did the edge or if Cult of Athena did the edge, but it's really rough. In fact, it's not even centered. So I'm gonna straighten everything up on my own here. But this motivates me to make my own blades because it's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear that?
The rattle.
Yeah, there's a
A
little
little
rattle
wobble.
in the handle, and
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's just me doing this.
Jeez.
Ugh.
So I got to fix that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I don't make messers. I don't, because there's a lot of companies that do. So that's why I
Yeah.
got this, because I know I'm never going to make one of these. And sadly, I was never able to get the Albion one. I really wanted that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll make one, maybe, but if I do, it'll probably be for myself. It won't be one that I make to sell.
So, interestingly enough, what you call it? When we were at Combat Con, I was kind of drooling over that single-edged Viking sword
Oh yeah.
that the Albion had, and someone bought it, which is great because I didn't really want to spend too much money on it because I was trying to be at Combat Con to make a little bit of money.
Right,
And then
that's so hard.
I got when I got home, I got a little drunk myself and jumped on the SBG, and I ordered the Cold Steel.
Oh, you got one too?
Single-edged Viking sword.
Now you know what we do when we're home and drink.
Yeah. When I'm bored, even when I'm watching movies, I'll jump on SGB or Swords for Sale and go, oh, okay. And I picked this up with the scabbard for $200, shipping included.
Yeah, we can't even make them for that price.
Right. And I was like, I probably won't make a single-edged Viking sword anytime soon, but, you know, I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and pull the trigger on that. So I did. It's not too bad. Nice and solid. There's no rattle to it whatsoever.
Good.
The fit and finish is a little weird, like, you know, where they do the recesses and the cross. There's a couple millimeters on this side, and then about 3 millimeters, maybe even 4.
Yeah.
Over on this side where they just hollowed it out. But it's pretty comfortable. All the copper inlay is really awesome.
That's how they keep the cost down. Which, you know, again, like, I don't even think materials for one of our swords we can get for $200.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, they're dealing in so much volume.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're able to make that happen. But yeah, that's it's decently sharp. It's got a pretty decent edge on it. The edge starts about 2 finger widths up the blade. Then it starts getting sharp about here-ish. And it just looks like they just hollow ground. They just put it right against a grinder and drug it. That was called done. Called it done. But, you know, Albion is obviously a much nicer blade and well worth the money. But when you're drunk on the couch, just sitting on the futon, and you're like, well, $200 for that, huh? I could buy that.
Exactly.
I'm going to do
it. Guys, I'm
oh no! What did you get?
No, I didn't.
What did you get?
Okay.
I wish that would have been amazing.
I didn't know that Josh had gotten that. Yeah. That's the first I've heard. So at least I think.
Yeah. Do you remember that? What's it called? There's a sword that just popped up. I forget the typology for it. It just popped up on SBG as well as, I believe. Let's see here. It is a type. It's a Bowler 12th century, where it's got the crazy long skinny cross and then like the half circle pommel. Some guy popped that up. I forget his name at the moment, but he popped it up and he was like, "Someone please take this off my hands. I have credit card bills. I have to buy it." And I sent him a message on Facebook like, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. It's mine
awesome.
now. Yeah.
When's it coming in?
So, it should be this week. I don't. So it's one of those things. It was a really nice scabbard that came with the sword, and I think it was like $200 something. And I was like, well, for that, that's going to be something cool to look at on the shelf. And worst case scenario, I'll definitely be able to get $200 out of it at a Renaissance fair.
So even us makers, you know, occasionally like just buying stuff. So we're sword nerds as well. So I mean, a lot of everything over here. Well, kind of. There's a lot of my stuff there too. But so I have a collection of stuff, you know, from other makers that, you know, it gets me motivated to make more myself. So yeah, good times. That's funny. So you were trying to cut though, Colton, today?
Yeah, I cut some cuts. That new Witcher sword I did.
You should put an edge on it?
Yeah,
nice.
I sharpened it today and went and tried some cuts. They were passing through the bottle fairly well. I couldn't keep the bottle on the post, but I don't know. It was working.
Yeah. How was it putting the edge on it?
It was okay. I definitely liked doing it on Warbear's grinder better than mine. Just kind of the position of it. So
Grizzly G1015 represent. Grizzly, we love your products. They're really working out for us. If you could just send us a bunch of free stuff,
Free switches.
that'd be awesome.
free switches.
Oh yeah, start making them switches a bit beefier. Granted, it lasted like 6 years, but the switch is the only thing I've ever seen go out on a Grizzly G1015.
That's on any grinder.
Yeah,
sure.
My first switch went out after 18 years. Isn't that crazy?
Jesus. Yeah.
So since then, though, the newer ones have gone out a lot quicker. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think I've gone through 3 others since then. But
right.
This is funny. Awesome.
Is yours the little copper connector that cracks in half after the repetition of
on the new ones?
Click. Yeah.
On the new ones, yeah. The old one, the first one that lasted 18 years was much beefier, and I think it got. I think you were with me when it went because it was at.
I was, yeah. That was in your old shop, yeah.
So it got an oversurge of electricity.
Because we both were sitting there waiting to grind, and we pulled it out, and it just didn't do anything. We're like, huh.
Well, we heard that pop, right? That loud.
Yeah.
And we're like, huh, what was that? And then it wouldn't turn on, and we got a surge of power, and it melted the connector. So
that's right. Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah.
So my jet grinder switch has actually gone out quite a few times, and it's like the push button on off big whatever. They fill up with metal dust, and then they'll arc and just like flames shoot out of them, and they burn out, and you gotta replace them.
Nice.
So that's happened a good 3 or 4 times in the last probably 6 or 7 years that they'll just like shoot out 3-foot flames and then just
the Mad Max version of the grinder.
Yeah, no, you know when it's done, it just poof, and you pull it apart and it's just melted on the switch.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right.
I would probably relocate that switch if that was me.
Oh, it'd be a good idea, but will I do that? Probably not.
No,
Thinking about good ideas, I was like, maybe I should put a fire extinguisher in my shop.
Oh, you should do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thought about that one today after a hard like X amount of years just making stuff, catching my feet on fire.
Hope OSHA's not watching us right now.
I got a fire extinguisher in my shop, OSHA.
Yeah.
$10 says we have an OSHA comment from OSHA's account. You guys are under surveillance.
Yeah, no.
Joke's on you. I'm not a real business.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, what else? So we did the movies. We did music. I feel like I'm missing something. What else were we on? I can't remember. I haven't had that much to drink either, so maybe more.
Yeah, we were talking about 3 topics. It was music. The overarching theme was things that inspire us.
Right. Well, I guess so. Another thing that inspires me is upcoming events. So, if I know there's a big event coming up, I usually get really excited to get stuff.
The Salt Lake City Sword Open.
Yeah, are we doing that?
May as well. I mean, it's like up the road.
Right. Yeah, I know. So for you guys, it's up the road. So I'm wondering if I maybe could fly out to that, or
man.
The downside is, so I have my cousin's wedding. I can't remember if it's the week before or the week after.
So like a close cousin or a cousin that you only know on like Facebook or?
Yeah, close cousin. Yeah, but it's in Omaha. They're in the military, so they're out in the base out there. So I think they're at the base. Maybe I could be wrong on that. But it's the week. I think it's the week after. So flying to Salt Lake and back, and then flying to Omaha and back might be pushing it. So if that's the case, then I might just send you guys some blades, but hopefully I can actually be there.
Sure.
Because everyone who came up to us at Combat Con to talk about it was super excited, and they seems like it's going to be. Is this the first year of that show, or has that happened before?
Yeah, no, it's first year.
Is it first year? Okay. They're really excited, and I hope and Chad will be there as well, right?
Chad makes special shout out to Chad. Chad makes. He's a sweet guy. He just does great work. Just a really stand up dude.
We need to get him on here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
In fact, I wonder, we should probably add him to the chat, the group chat.
We should just add him right now. Call him up. Put him in.
He's just pops up and he's looking around like, what's happening?
Yeah, no.
How did you guys get me on
Yeah.
this?
How do you guys
I don't
get
understand.
camera and audio on me?
Yeah. Just me. I just show up at his house, just go over there with like the little microphone.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that, and then it's gonna be full for me, and you guys too, if you want to come over to Sarasota. It's gonna be a little tight.
I'd love to.
Because we have the Salt Lake Open, then we have then I'll be out for a week doing that wedding, and then the week after is Sarasota. So it's like bam 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 again.
Jeez.
And then right after that is SoCal, right? Or the one in Phoenix?
Phoenix first. The cutting tournament.
December? Is that December?
January, early January.
January. Okay.
I think I'm right on that. Early January, and then late January is SoCal. So.
And then January is Hogtown too, isn't it?
It is. Which I don't know where Hogtown is going to fall this year. If it's late January, that's going to be better.
Such a good show, man. I miss Hogtown. Hogtown was such a great show.
Hopefully, you can come back.
Right.
But I just hope it doesn't overlap. I think it will overlap SoCal, which will suck.
Yeah.
But it did overlap SoCal this year. So
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't next year.
Sarasota still overlaps Tavares Renaissance Fair, right? That's sad.
Every
I wish they could string those out a bit better.
Yeah.
Instead of making vendors and patrons choose what fair to go to,
Right.
we should all just be able to go to every fair.
Yeah, would be nice.
Either way,
That'd be
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. What do you guys have on your plates, by the way? Any exciting? I saw that big ass blade you guys are doing in collaboration.
Yeah.
Is that,
Colton and I are collaborating on the Executioner sword.
Yeah, that's got to be
which Peter Lyon commented on the post.
I saw
telling Chris, other Chris, New Zealand over in Weta Chris, that his was a tiddler, which I had to Google. Tiddler is a phrase that just means a little fish. And Chris's Executioner sword wasn't a small sword, I believe. I think it's quite a large sword as well.
Yeah.
But not the 26 pounds that this sword is.
Oh,
Or I think it's closer to 16 right now.
it's like 16.
Yeah, 16 and a half.
Without a hilt.
Yeah,
So,
right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So
like 20.
yeah,
Who's doing the hilt?
we're doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna hilt it. Yeah, it's gonna be bronze. Might do brass to keep a little bit of the weight down and a little easier to machine because it's gonna be a beast because it's 3/8 stock. I know. Ooh, why do I do this to myself?
I don't know.
This is gonna be a great idea. This is like me showing up in your workshop all those years ago, going, I can't wait to make an anime sword, and you're like, that's gonna weigh 50 pounds, man. There's no way. And I'm like, ah! And then in the middle of trying to do it, going, this sucks. Why would anybody want to make these giant swords? Plus, you got Michael Cthulhu out there on, Irish Mike. He nails it. Him and what's his name from Pretty Hate Machining. They do a great job. They do a great job making Jagunda swords. But gotta get my hand in there and get it burnt and get my workout somehow. I'm also making some broken Witcher hilts. I've sold all my broken swords again, and just need to make more.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, I'm not sure when you caught on to that, but I think after that one game came out, they had the broken sword in it, right?
Shadows of Mordor. Shadows of Mordor came out, and I love the idea of a broken longsword being used as a dagger. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So that's when I caught on to it. I was like, oh, I want to do one of those.
Like, I was surprised how popular those things are.
Gone.
And,
can't keep them in stock. I've never been able to keep a broken sword in stock.
So I'm curious, like, if you guys, everyone watching, like, I'm curious, like, what the motivation is, aside from the game, because I know a lot of people who bought the broken swords who've never seen the game, so they're just like, "Oh, this is really cool." And it could be, like in Lord of the Rings, when they had the broken Narsil there. I'm kind of wondering if that may play a part.
It's
really cool.
I think that's a very small part of it, because that introduces another fandom point. I think what it is a lot of our customers are very creative and driven people. They love things that have story behind them. And I don't think a lot of things have as much personality and built-in history than the look of a sword that's been chewed up and broken.
Right.
To the point where while we were in the tent, everyone, including what we will call muggles, people that don't look like they're particularly interested in medieval fanfare at all, they're just, you know, gym rats and chads hanging out. Not Chad. That's funny that Chad's Chad. You know what I mean? They're muggles. They don't really have anything to do with it. But they're like, can I see that broken sword? That's awesome. It just speaks to speaks something into someone's head. And it's that it has personality. It just is something that's like, wow, that's really cool. That has to have a story behind it. So a lot of people, at least the people that have purchased my broken swords, have just been like, I need that on my belt because it looks like it's been through it. It looks like it's had a story behind it that's ready to be told.
Yeah.
So
it's very cool.
Jumping into broken swords here, and this has reminded me of something I was going to bring up earlier and forgot. I have been watching The Outpost.
Oh,
that our good friend Warbear worked on.
Yeah. What, 27 different characters?
At least.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, I'm in like almost every episode 3 times.
So I know that you worked like tons on all the props in that show as well. So there was a scene in one of the, I can't even remember. Oh my gosh, fail. There's 2 broken swords up on the walls, like in doorways. I'm assuming that was you, right?
That is General Calcasar's office.
There you go. Yeah,
those 2 broken swords are mine, and those 2 broken swords sold at Evermore last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Good times.
There you go. Like it popped up in the back. It's like, hey, I know where this came from.
And I had the idea. Of course, when you're working on film sets and stuff like that, and you're either an extra or you're on props or whatever, and you're just a creative weirdo, you give yourself like a story behind it. You're like, I'm this guy. I'm an extra, and you'll never hear of me in anything. But in my head, this is what's going on in the movie, in the show. So, and as far as props go, I put them up there. And Lauren McKnight, I think, was asking for me to rent her props for that scene. And in my head, I was like, these are hanging up here because when he kills a king or an enemy general in battle, he breaks their swords and hang it on his wall because that's the coolest thing in the world. So that was what was going through my head. But yeah.
Were those the really big ones, or were those normal size ones?
They were normal sized. I do have one large 26-pound broken sword. And then someone's spoken for that one. Someone really wants to buy that one. And it's broken twin. The Restgiver and Thirstseeker from the Pureborn Reclaimers story arc in Evermore. Those will be sold pretty soon. The kid was just like, I really want those. Can you sell them to me? Will you sell them to me? And I'm like, at first, no, because I really like them, because they're stuff I made. They represent a story. And then so I told him, like, maybe, we'll see. And then I went down to my garage and I was like, it's all under the spear pike is under a bunch of bones and dust. And then the other one's in the garage. And I'm like, I'm hoarding these in my garage, just in the corner, covered in dirt. You know, it's not, at that point, it's less about making the money and more about seeing someone that it gets really happy to own something, that loves something, get it into their possession and let it carry its journey in their hands. You know what I mean? Right.
Oh yeah. Well, that's awesome though. So how far did you get in there, Colton? Because I think I watched the whole thing, but when did that come out?
I think I'm approaching the end of the first season. Not positive about that, honestly. How many episodes are there?
I couldn't tell you. It's been I haven't seen seen it since like it came out on since it was streaming on the CW in 2017, something like that. 2018.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I guess it feels like I'm approaching like it should be coming to the end of the season because it's like episode 9 or 10, and I'm like most things are around that. So maybe it has 20 and I'm only halfway. I don't know.
No. I think it's something like 8 to 10 episodes a show, or 8 to 10.
I don't know. So I'm like,
it was almost like a drinking game every time Josh popped up in the show.
We kind of did that for what you call it. When it first came out, we would gather with a couple of the crew and just be like, anytime you see Warbear, take a drink. The first season has 13 episodes.
Okay, so
more than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
yeah.
funny 'cause
I'm getting there. 3/4 of the way.
yeah, even when Josh has like a cloak on or something hiding his face,
Yeah.
I can
Just-
still tell it's Josh because I know how he walks. So-
Yeah. I even when we wrapped, we had a big award party, and I got an award that was like most seen on screen.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find where that went. That was awesome having a rap
Yeah.
a rap award.
Yeah. No, it's
Oh,
been
okay.
an awesome show. It's been fun to watch. See all the work you put into that. It looks good, man.
It definitely got a lot of hate when it first came out, and I think people were expecting the next Lord of the Rings or the next Game of Thrones, when in fact it's more geared as like a Goosebumps R.L. Stein version of Game of Thrones. Hopefully that's saying it kindly without insulting it too much. It's more for CW. It's more for young adult minds than it is those hardcore 30-40-year-old nerds that are like, I want the next Tolkien film, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was fun.
No,
It was a little fun
to
thing.
watch. That's about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
And the other thing coming up, actually coming up pretty soon. So my birthday is Labor Day weekend.
The new Highlander with Henry Cavill. That's
Yeah,
right, Chris. Good point. Yeah, I can't wait for that to pop out.
That starts, as far as I'm aware, that starts production end of the year. And I have been asking all around. I used to be in contact. So when it was under the prior director and prior group before it got sold off, we had connections on, with, we were going to help out with the blades, and we were in talks to do a lot of things. And then all that dropped off the face of the earth, and that was years ago. So I'm really wondering who's doing the props for it now, and I'd love to help out, so I'm going to keep asking around, and hopefully we find something. I'm really curious. So I haven't seen the designs or anything like that, whereas I did see the designs of the prior film, or the prior version that would have been out. And the swords parts were cool.
I'd be surprised if Weta hasn't already been tapped. Or what's that prop master up in Northern Ireland or England?
Yeah, it's going to be in London, I believe.
Yeah.
So I was hoping it would come to Atlanta. But yeah, no such luck. I think it's going to be London.
Imagine that.
Yeah, if it's London though, it's going to be weird, because are they going to re-script it like so it's not New York, or I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Or they might completely do it different.
I just hope it's good, man. I just hope it's good. Like the original one is such a great, a great movie. Dated and old as it may be, it still holds up. So I'm hoping this one isn't just like, a half wash, scraping the bottom of the barrel of things that people like. So you try and chisel the last few dollars out of people.
Did I send you guys that video when I was on the beach in Edinburgh running?
Let's go, Haggis.
Yeah. Come on, Haggis. Yeah.
I was expecting what's her name to run by dressed as Ramirez.
Right.
Yeah. That would have been so funny. Yeah. Like a little long gray wig and everything. Right. But you not wearing anything like a kilt or anything, just your jeans and your NASA shirt, just ready to go.
But on
was that the actual beach he ran on?
No. I'm not sure where that is.
Oh, bummer.
That's got to be somewhere north in the Highlands, I think.
Sure.
I'm sure we can find it. That's kind of next time back. I might be trying to find more Highland locations. So I'll be going more north.
Highlander World Tour 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the weekend, I think it's Labor Day weekend. Thomas is gonna go up to Chicago to that big museum that Brandon was talking about with all the arms and armor. So I'm going to try to join him if I can, but again, there's been a lot of travel lately, so I may not be able to. But I'm trying to figure that out like in the next couple days so I can let him know. But if you guys have time, I think it's the first weekend in September. If you want to see some original arms and armor, that's one of the best places here other than the Met. So I don't know if you guys
have time. I think we should totally do like a Sterling Armory field trip.
Talk about motivation. That's like, for me, that's my prime motivation right there. So seeing the originals in the museums. So so I can check with Thomas, but I'm pretty sure it's the first weekend in September. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the 2nd through the 4th, I think. So this will probably air after that, I think, but it will. But that would be super cool. So hopefully, if we did go, you'll see it in our Facebook post by the time this posts. So if anything, Thomas will take a lot of pictures for us.
Definitely.
Alrighty. Well, we're at about an hour here, so we want to
just over an hour. That was a good off the cuff sword talk.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we got a bunch of topics that have been sent in, and we're going to be covering. We also want to get some more guests on pretty soon. And this one wasn't the last two haven't been quite as structured, because one was I was overseas, and this one kind of off the cuff. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this if you're watching, and please comment and join in the conversation below. Like and subscribe and all that. And,
speaking of, did you see, not the last one, I think it's number 11 that came out? There's a guy that commented. there's a guy that commented, I've been emailing you for 2 weeks trying to buy a sword, and no one has answered me, and no one answered or interacted with his comment either.
No,
so I felt really bad, but I didn't answer either. I was just like, oh crap.
No, I responded to that when I saw it, because I saw it when I was over in Scotland, and I was like, wait, what?
Right.
So I asked him, did anybody get that email? Because I did not get that email.
I get emails.
He did email
I don't
me
check my email anyway.
All right.
So if you want to ask me a question, Instagram or Facebook is the way to go.
Yeah. So he did email me. He found my email directly, Chris at Sterling Armory. He sent me an email.
Okay.
And I was like, what email did you use before? And he didn't say. So, but he did have a cool design. I gave him a rough quote on it.
Yep.
So,
I just remember saying it, feeling really bad that he had said that.
I know. I was like, who are you and where is this email?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what's going on. So normally, guys, if you're sending us emails and you're not getting replies, that means it's probably not going to the right place. Because we usually reply pretty quickly.
Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to engage you in conversation. If you have questions, whether it's about swords or advice of life and romance, and you need to talk to old Uncle Warbear and find out what you should do in your stocks and bonds.
Warbear the Beardless.
Warbear the Beardless, or my alter ego, Joshua Borgut, lawyer.
Joshua Borgully.
Yeah, Borgully. Lies, deceptions. Yeah, love Rogue One, but what the shit? Fucking Saw Gerrera. What a weirdo.
That new Andor show looks pretty good. That preview.
I haven't seen the trailer for it yet.
It looks
I've seen
a poster.
Yeah, it looks
good. We'll do.
Alrighty, we'll cut it off there, and but I guess are all of us going to meet tomorrow to do the next one as well? Hope so.
May as well.
Yeah.
I will try to.
Send out Thomas to Chet. We haven't seen Chet in forever, so it'll be great to have him on.
Chet's in his FBI protected safe house still. This blurred out background.
Yeah.
Special effect. Oh, that's right. That's likely what happened. He had a new baby, and had to do other things, had to do life.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, find us online, talk to us, and usually if you comment on our YouTube page, I think we've replied. We try to reply to everybody who comments.
Most of them. Yeah. And the Sterling Armory thing's funny because no one knows who we're talking about. Like, no one knows who they're talking to. And when we post in the third person. Right. So, no one knows I think it's kind of funny. Just no one knows what's going on. No one knows who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Who are you now? Yeah. and there's no reason to change it because it's still funny. So, but in the meantime, I'm Josh Warbear. Find me at Warbear_Armory on Instagram, or Joshua Von Warbear on Facebook, or Dark Archer Design, which I will get that webpage changed over eventually to reflect Warbear.
I did switch the links over to Warbear, so they are working. Yeah.
Sweet. Yes. Score.
Colton, you're up.
Yep, Colton, Copperthorn Customs, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then Sterling Armory, Facebook, and all the places.
Yeah. Oh, and so what we're going to do, and I'm Chris Fields with Sterling Armory, and find me at Sterling Armory, all the links below, Instagram, Facebook. But what I'm going to be doing for Josh and for Colton, and hopefully Thomas and Chet, and hopefully Chad as well, is we'll do a maker's highlight. So each of us have a unique style, and so I want to highlight each of these guys in their individual Sword Talk videos sometime soon. So that'll be also.
We should do some headshots and do an about me. We could introduce and put links on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got to be black and white. With a little bit of
Yeah,
red.
absolutely. No, that looks like a funeral. That looks like
That's true.
a eulogy.
Yeah.
It's just like, did they die? They just posted all these eulogies. Like,
Yeah.
all the memorials. Sorry, all these memorials. But yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah, that sounds fun.
Well, until until next time, we will talk to you guys soon. And any other, so we have a list of about 10 or 11 topics we're going to be covering. But if you have a topic that you want us to cover, please send it in. And until then, catch you guys next time. And what was that Matt came up with? Oh, stay sharp. That's what it
Stay
is.
sharp.
Stay sharp.
That's good.
Keep
That's
beans
good.
clean.
So less cancelable than anything I've ever said in my life. Should have just had him on the first episode.
Right. Yep. Alrighty, guys. All right. Have a good night.
Yeah,
We'll talk
bye.
next time.
Later.